Hi YouTube friends! Today I wanted to show off a build that I just made. It's kind of a cottagecore vibes build. So I've been watching TikTok a lot lately, as I'm sure a lot of you have, and I love the cottagecore style that I've been seeing. So that's kind of what I went for today. Another reason that I did this build is because I actually just got the Get Together pack. I know it's been out a long time, but it is new to me. So I love making like Tudor style homes and making builds in Windenburg. This build is actually on a Windenburg lot. It's on kind of actually a large lot, it seems like, and this is a small house, so I didn't end up using the whole lot, but it's neat because you could put it in on a much smaller lot in like Newcrest or something. And I'm not sure, I didn't see if it could be classified as a tiny home. I don't know if it exceeds 100 tiles or not, but if it doesn't, it might be really pretty kind of close. The only thing I could see that would put it over that might be the porch that I add on a little bit later, because I don't know, it's silly to me, but tiny homes, the porches actually count as tiles as well in The Sims 4, which is kind of funny. You can't have like a nice wraparound porch if it's, at least if it's up on a foundation. I'm not sure if it's not on a foundation, if it counts or not. I know there's definitely ways to cheat it though. Like you can add fake walls and cheat a tiny home. By the way, if you're ever trying to do the 100 baby challenge, I absolutely recommend doing a cheated micro home, because you gain relationships so much faster, your skills improve so much faster, and it just makes the challenge like a million times easier. But anyways, I'll get back to talking about the build. So I'm using this wall covering that's kind of in that Tudor style. I thought I'd experiment with that, but I didn't want the whole build to be that wall covering, so I actually did some brick as well. This is the brick from City Living. And then I went ahead with a stone foundation, so bringing a lot of different textures into this build I thought was cool. And I liked using the roof trim that was brown as well. I thought it matched really well with the build too. Now with the windows, I went for like a few different styles, but I love doing like the stained glass windows as an accent. I thought that looked really cool in this house, and that's definitely one of my favorite things about the Get Together pack and the style of build items it comes with is those stained glass windows. And later when I do the interior, you'll see that I try to kind of match some of the interior to those windows and bring out some of the yellows and blues and reds that I saw in those windows. And I thought that bay window was really perfect for this build. It looked a little bit awkward on the very front of the build, so I actually just moved it over to the side, and that's where the bedroom ends up being lately, so it adds like a little fun kind of focal point to the bedroom for sure. So I'm doing some window placement around. Window placement, like roofing, is something that I'm definitely still learning. I feel like sometimes it's awkward placing windows in The Sims because they wouldn't necessarily be there in real life, and I don't know. Definitely weird learning how to place windows. And right now I'm also trying to figure out how to do the porch. I eventually figured it out here in a second, but yeah, just drawing walls around it and then deleting them. And I'm not sure if I was originally going to go for a roof for the porch, but then I saw that ceiling there and I was like, hey, it might look good. So I went ahead and put a little roof on the porch. And like I said, maybe that would be what pushes this over 100 tiles, and the chimney of unused space as well. But this home could very easily be a tiny home because there's not very much space inside the build at all. So here I'm just putting the stone foundation all over, and I ended up going with some stone flooring here as well for the porch. I thought that looked really nice. Kind of made the porch stand out a little bit more than the wood might have. So I liked that for sure. I'm experimenting with columns, seeing what you can do. I couldn't drag this column up or place one on top. Maybe if I'd turn moved objects on, but I figured it looked pretty good without the columns there as well. So I'm using here the Windenburg, or the get together fence here. And I'll use a different get together fence like around the whole property as well. And then just making a little back entrance area over here, and using the stained glass door, which again, I love using the stained glass things from this pack. And then I decided to go with ivy up the walls, which I thought added a really unique element to it. Now this ivy is like rectangular and on a trellis, so it doesn't look the most natural, but I'm trying to kind of like size down little pieces to make it look a little more natural going up the building. And then I added some here to the chimney as well because I really liked how it looked, adding some ivy up the building there. And yeah, just going in with like little patches of it. I wish that like more natural looking oval like ivy was in the darker color so it could match, but it ended up being too light, so I didn't use that. I did, however, use these pink vines, and that actually kind of inspired the rest of the landscaping that you'll see a little bit later. I went for a pink vibe with the landscaping, so I did a lot of pink landscaping all over. A lot of it I used the Romantic Garden pack, so if you like landscaping, I definitely love that pack for like a romantic landscaping type of atmosphere to your builds. I think it looks really nice. There's like some irises and other bigger types of flowers that look great, sized up or down or whatever, however you like it. So here I'm making just kind of a fenced-in area around. Again, this fence is from Get Together, and at first I felt so silly. I just saw the two smaller gates, and then there was a bigger one, so that definitely fit my needs. I wanted to have like the gated in area at the front. By the way, I was looking at a reference picture for this. I'm kind of not great at like just thinking of ideas for builds off the top of my head. So I did look at a reference picture. I believe the reference picture I looked at though was all brick, but I liked the different textures being added in as well. And here you see me starting in on the pink landscaping, which was definitely one of my favorite parts to do about this build. I love landscaping in The Sims. Sometimes I feel like I don't do enough of it. Of course, if you don't use debug landscaping, which I'm not here, it can make your builds pretty expensive. But this build's actually not too expensive. It didn't end up being too expensive. I believe it ended up being under 50k simoleon, so not awful. By the way, it is on the gallery if you want to download it. I tried to limit myself with packs. I'm not sure exactly how many packs I used, but probably fewer than 6 or 7. And some packs I only used like a couple items from, but I tried to make the most of the packs that I did use for sure. And then you saw me put the woohoo bush with the pink flowers over there. It wouldn't be a build in Windenburg if you did not have a woohoo bush, so I had to go ahead and include that. And honestly, it's a pretty useful item in The Sims. Your Sims can obviously use it for woohoo, but they can also use it to go to the bathroom or even to sleep in. So pretty useful. I can definitely see if somebody were doing, I haven't tried this yet, but if you were doing like a rags to riches challenge and use the woohoo bush instead of buying like a toilet, a bed, like at least it would get those needs up for sure. So definitely an interesting addition to the game. And also, again, if you did the 100 baby challenge and you were out like on a community lot in The Sims, then you could use that instead of having to have a bed around. So definitely convenient for the 100 baby challenge. So here I'm working on the downstairs floor plan, and I believe I end up moving the steps over a little bit because if you notice, the living room area where the fireplace is like a little bit cramped. So I just wanted to have enough room for the bathroom and then also a space for the living room as well. And I toyed with the idea of bringing some of that city living brick that I have on the outside inside to make like an exposed brick look, but I didn't end up doing that. I ended up using other wallpaper. However, I did go ahead and use that fireplace because I thought it kind of tied some of the brick look in, and it looks pretty good. So here I'm using the Snowy Escape counters. I did use quite a few items from Snowy Escape in this build, and I used the paranormal wallpaper here as well, which is definitely one of my new favorite things to put on the walls because I think it looks really good in a lot of different styles of builds, and especially since I was going for a cottagecore feel here, I thought it looked really homey and just nice. So I went for that paranormal stuff wallpaper, and I did use some other items from the paranormal pack as well. It's definitely one of my new favorite packs, and especially for a stuff pack, it just brings so much to the game. I feel like it brings a lot of cute items and some paranormal gameplay, which I have played a little bit of so far. But even if you're not into the paranormal gameplay so much, definitely the wallpaper and the other items are for sure worth having. And I usually wait for sales when I buy packs in The Sims 4, which is why I'm super excited about the 21st anniversary of The Sims, because I am hoping that there will be another big sale. That's definitely on my wish list of things that they would give us, because there's a couple more stuff packs that I would like to buy. Stuff packs are definitely a good value for the money, and when they're on sale, they're usually only $5 instead of $10, which seems like a decent price. Of course, a lot of people just do custom content instead of buying stuff packs because usually stuff packs don't come with a lot of gameplay, and custom content, you can find amazing custom content for free all over the internet, which I have downloaded custom content before. I don't have any in my game currently because I used to play on my laptop, and just having that much custom content, especially alpha custom content, would make my game slow down a good bit. So I wasn't a fan of that. And then also every time there was an update, your custom content would get broken. And then I don't know if you guys have downloaded custom content, but whenever like the custom content gets broken, people are just walking around with like bald heads and like a red and black like checker print all over their body if you use like custom content skins. So it's kind of funny to see, but it's a little bit annoying, like trying to figure out which custom contents you need to delete and which ones you can keep and which ones you need to update. So I think if I ever do download it in the future, I'm going to have to find a much more like organized system for how I want to do that, because the bald heads and the and the checker print is not my style there in The Sims 4. So if you have any tips about custom content, definitely leave them in the comments below, because I love custom content. I think there's so many talented creators out there for sure, but I don't know the ins and outs of it yet at all. So here I'm just adding a little dining nook and a laundry day wreath, which I really liked. I used that because I also used the laundry day rug there, and so I figured if I'm going to use one item from the pack, I may as well use a couple bit more. So I use a few things from laundry day, and here I'm thinking about doing curtains, but I don't believe I ended up doing any curtains. I don't often do a ton of curtains in my builds aside from like the bedroom, but especially because I had these pretty stained glass windows, I didn't really want to cover them up. And as you can see, I did kind of try to play off the colors of those stained glass windows, doing some reds and blues, especially you can see with the rug over there in the living room. It's red and blue and yellow, and that also is from the paranormal stuff pack. So are the couches that I used and that little tray. It's classified as a light because it has a little tea light on it, And I really like those items from the Paranormal Stuff Pack. I think they just look so cozy. We don't have many couches in The Sims 4 that look that cozy or realistic, but I love like the accent details of the pillows and the blankets on them. I think they look super awesome. And I also love that pattern, like with the diamonds. And they also come in some plain colors too, for sure. But I think those are probably my very favorite couches in The Sims 4, and the love seat as well. Just love how they look in the game, definitely. So here I'm just cluttering up the bathroom just a little bit. I believe that towel rack is also from Laundry Day as well. And just adding a few details throughout the house. Those lights I'm putting up are just from base game, and then the light bulb there was also from Laundry Day. And now we're moving upstairs. So I was not quite sure what direction I wanted to go with the upstairs. I thought about doing 2 bedrooms, and there definitely would have been room for that. However, the second bedroom there would have been maybe a little bit cramped, and I didn't necessarily want to do a kid's bedroom in this build, mostly because I was kind of making a place where I could fantasize about living, and I don't have any kids, so I didn't do a kid's bedroom, but I did want to add a little study area because there wasn't really room for one downstairs. So I made a study area with a desk and that pretty bookshelf from Snowy Escape right there behind it. And then I'm going to add a little easel there. I think this house could work for whatever kind of creative venture your Sims do. So you could put really any skill item, over there. Like maybe even a chess table might fit there, or really anything that you need for your Sims. Although I know there's some really massive, huge skill items in The Sims 4. So you'll see I'm using the Paranormal Stuff rug again in the bedroom. I just couldn't resist. Again, I love that rug so much. And I'm figuring out some places to put mirrors around. I struggled a little bit finding different things to put on the wall in this build. I definitely don't love the choices of things to put on the wall in The Sims 4. Like, we don't have too many posters that really suit, like, my vibe. A lot of his posters and paintings, a lot of them are, like, either, like, old-timey or really fancy, and they're pretty much all really expensive. So, if I did download custom content, again, that would definitely be something I'm in the market for. And I wish that would be in addition to any of the new packs that come out, like just some wall art that would make sense in most houses. One thing, I'm not sure why I didn't use macrame, like the macrame from the new Paranormal pack, because it looks really awesome. I've been using it in a ton of builds, but I guess I just didn't think to use it here. The painting that I just put on the wall there is from Snowy Escape. There's a couple swatches of that painting that I really like to use. I think they look really nice. So I used that one. And then I'm using the Paranormal kind of gallery wall there. That's another thing I like to put on the walls sometimes. Here I'm just kind of like adding some final touches to the inside of the house. And then here I'm moving outside again to do some more landscaping. So I kind of kept the same vibe with the landscaping in the backyard as I did in the front yard, but I also wanted to add like a little area that was just brick that your Sims could have like a little sitting area, eating area outside, because there's only a 2-seater table inside, so I wanted like an additional dining table outside. If you had a party or invited some friends over, just have a place to sit outside, and I thought that was a nice addition to the house for sure. So here I'm looking for that little fence. I believe your Sims can just step right over this fence. It just kind of adds a little bit of interest to the brick area and makes it look a little bit more like realistic, that there would be some sort of divide between the brick and the ground around it. And then I'm adding a little bench over there, and I have a little bird bath as well. It's always great to add some habitat, wildlife habitat to your homes in real life and in The Sims. Definitely a fan of doing that. So I didn't forget my trash can outside and also my trash can inside in this build. That's something that I definitely struggle with. And then here I'm doing something that I like to do, which is lighting up the exterior, making it look very nice and pretty outside in the dark. So adding just some wall lights and some lights to the ground as well, and just making it look really nice. And doing some terrain paint to make it look a little realistic, like under the furniture and under the plants as well. And I wanted to add a little table here next to the grill because when Sims grill, they really grill. They'll make you like 24 burgers at a time or something, and they come on a big plate, and you gotta have somewhere to put them, right? Otherwise, they'll like walk inside with them or something. They always do the most like illogical things. If you have any funny Sims stories, definitely put them in the comments. Just like my Sims love to like just wash their dishes in like the bathroom sink. It's like they'll literally walk to like the second floor just to do that and not use the sink that's in the kitchen. And it makes no sense. I don't know what their programming is, but they love to do that for sure. So I carried the landscaping into this corner as well, and just added some finishing touches to the landscaping. And I believe this is almost the end of the build. Just adding very final touches and some extra terrain paint. But this is our cottagecore house. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this build. It is up on the gallery for you to look at and download, and I hope that you do. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to tune in next time. Bye!